Long before the Delhi Sultanate and the Mughals, Muslim political power in South Asia began on the northwestern frontier, not with one single conquest of India, but through raids, frontier cities, military states, and gradual settlement. Around the year 1000, the northwestern edge of South Asia was less a border and more a busy crossroads. Mountains like the Hindu Kush and passes such as the Khyber connected the wide plains of the Indus River to the grasslands of Central Asia. Caravans traveled these routes, carrying silk, spices, and coins between cities like Ghazna, Bukhara, and Baghdad. Ghazna itself sat right in the middle, linking the worlds of Iran, Afghanistan, and the Punjab. To the west, the Somnath Empire ruled from Bukhara, shaping the region's politics and trade. The Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad still held religious authority that new rulers wanted to claim. On the frontier, local Hindu dynasties, especially the Hindu Shahis, controlled key valleys and forts. This whole zone was a patchwork of cultures and powers, woven together by trade, movement, and rivalry, long before any one dynasty took control. Military slaves known as Mamluks formed the backbone of armies across the Islamic world by the 10th century. These were boys, often from Turkish steppe families, taken young and trained for years in riding, archery, and the arts of war. They were also taught how to run a court, keep accounts, and speak Persian, the language of government. Loyalty was expected, but the reward was real power. Some Mamluks rose from obscurity to command armies or even rule cities. Sibuk Taigan started life as one of these elite soldiers in the service of the Samanids. Through skill and fortune, he became the governor of Ghazna. In 977, he declared himself independent and began building a new state on the frontier. When he died in 997, his son Mahmud took over the throne. Mahmud inherited not just a town, but a system, a disciplined cavalry force, Persian-speaking officials, and the respect of the Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad. The Ghaznavids did not see themselves as simple outsiders invading a foreign land. Their world stretched from the steppes of Central Asia to the markets of Iran and the plains of the Punjab. Turkish military traditions, Persian administration, and Islamic law all blended together at Ghazna. Under Mahmud, this blend became the foundation for a powerful new dynasty, ready to shape the political future of the region. Mahmud's rule was marked by a steady rhythm of campaigns, not a single march or conquest. Between 999 and 1027, he led his armies east again and again, at least 17 times by the count of court historians. The first major target was Multan, a city on the frontier that was not just rich, but also held by Ismaili leaders who followed the Fatimid Caliph in Egypt. For Mahmud, defeating Multan meant more than gaining land. It was a chance to show loyalty to the Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad, to weaken a rival branch of Islam, and to control a key gateway into the subcontinent. Other raids struck at cities and temples known for their wealth. The treasure taken, gold, silver, fine cloth, and precious stones poured into Ghazna. This wealth paid soldiers, built up the court, and funded new campaigns. Mahmud's army, made up of skilled cavalry and Mamluks, relied on these rewards to stay loyal and effective. But the campaigns were not just about loot. Mahmud's court poets and chroniclers described his victories using religious language, calling them a defense of Islam and a fight against enemies of the faith. Yet these words also served a political purpose. By framing his wars as holy, Mahmud gained support at home and respect from other Muslim rulers. In truth, his campaigns were religious, political, and economic all at once, each motive feeding the next, and each raid bringing new power and prestige to Ghazna. The raid on Somnath in 1026 stands out in the story of Mahmud, not only for what happened, but for how later generations remembered it. Mahmud's court historian Al-Utbi wrote about the attack in glowing terms, but his job was to praise the Sultan, not to record events like a neutral reporter. Over the centuries, Muslim, Hindu, and colonial writers all turned Somnath into a symbol, sometimes of religious victory, sometimes of loss, sometimes of invasion. But the ground reality after the raid was less black and white. Archaeological evidence shows that trade and daily life at Somnath continued after Mahmud's army left. In the city of Lahore, coins minted under Mahmud's rule carried both Arabic and Sanskrit writing. These coins show that Ghaznavid power could adjust to local customs and languages, working with Hindu and Buddhist merchants to keep trade flowing. While the raid on Somnath was dramatic, Mahmud did not create a lasting empire across India. His real long-term control focused on Punjab and the lands around Lahore, not the whole subcontinent. Stories about Somnath grew larger with time, but the facts on the ground were more practical and mixed than a simple tale of conquest. Keeping power in Ghazna took more than just winning battles. The state needed a steady flow of money to keep going year after year. Most of this came from land taxes collected in places like Afghanistan, Khorasan, and the Punjab. Farmers paid a share of their crops, and this money was carefully recorded by Persian-speaking officials. Tribute from defeated rivals and the confiscation of property added to the treasury. War booty, the gold, silver, and jewels taken during raids helped pay the army, but this income was never steady enough on its own. Running the government was expensive. Money paid for cavalry horses, soldiers' wages, court ceremonies, and the building of mosques and palaces. The whole system depended on good administration as much as on success in war. Without careful management of taxes and spending, even the richest victories could not keep the state strong for long. After Mahmud's death in 1030, his son Masud I took the throne, but the world he faced was already changing. The Ghaznavids soon lost their western lands to the Seljuk Turks, a powerful new force sweeping in from Central Asia. As old borders crumbled, the dynasty shifted its focus eastward. Lahore, once a distant outpost, became the heart of their rule. The city grew into a busy center for trade, soldiers, and scholars. It was here that Ali al-Hujwiri, a Sufi writer from Ghazni, settled and wrote the Kashf al-Mahjub, the first major Persian book on Sufism in South Asia. His teachings and the community that formed around him helped make Lahore a place known for learning and spiritual life. The Ghaznavids, no longer expanding, found a new kind of presence, rooted in cities, culture, and everyday connections. This was not the creation of a single new empire, but the start of a chapter that would shape the region for centuries. Borders shift, legends grow, but the roots of power still shape lives across South Asia today. The questions Mahmud's story raises about memory, change, and belonging remain with us now. Share your thoughts below.